Welcome to Animal Nonsense. I'm Jess.
I'm David.
I have just been away on holiday, a few days near Barcelona. I've just got a little present for you.
That's really nice. The illustrations are beautiful. So this is a notebook, and on the notebook you've got pencil drawings like a bear, a rabbit, a fox. Thank you very much.
No pleasure. Well, I thought you might use it for some animal nonsense related research. I also have another little gift for you. This is Turon. It's basically like a type of nougat.
How do you eat it?
I just shove it in your mouth.
Do you want some? Do you want some out the other end?
I'll try some, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you can either break off a bit or just have a chomp. It's quite sticky. You probably need to just have a chomp. I'll pull myself off a little bit there.
Okay. Come on.
So when we were out there in Barcelona, at one point, my daughter came up to me and she was like, Mum, I've caught a fish. And I looked in the bucket. And this fish was maybe like 3 inches long. And it looked a bit like a mud skipper. Do you know the ones that kind of get out of the water and have like the little legs? But it wasn't. I did a bit of Googling and I think it was a blenny. And she'd caught this fish and she had it in her bucket. And it was only in the bucket for maybe like a minute or something. How have you caught this? Like, we don't have a net. Like, what have you done? She grabbed this fish like, with her bare hands and popped it in the bucket. Really like cat-like reflexes. And we were kind of looking at it and kind of examining it and, filmed it on the phone. And then this fish was like kind of lying near the bottom of the bucket on its side. And I thought like, oh God, oh no, she's like hurt it. And poor thing, we need to put it straight back into the water. Is it going to be okay? Put it in. The second the bucket went in the water, it shot off. This thing was playing dead. And it absolutely had me fooled. It was acting. Also, and I sent you a video of this, and there was no response, which surprised me. Did you see? We found a sea cucumber.
No, I remember receiving this video. So I was in your home.
Yeah.
In England while you were on holiday there.
Yeah.
And you sent this through and...
It does look like a turd in a bucket. I'm not going to...
Well, that was my concern. And then I thought, well, Jess wouldn't misidentify a turd as a sea cucumber. And then on the video, it was really hard to know what it was. And I didn't know if you were making like a joke.
Yeah. No.
I didn't know if you were like, oh, look, we just found a sea cucumber. And then you're like shoveling up from Spanish shores.
No, I mean, they do look incredibly turd-like. But yeah, we found a real sea cucumber and I thought of you instantly.
That's what he puts on his dating profile. Mr. Sea Cucumber, incredibly turd-like.
It's very unfortunate. But we saw it, scooped it up into the bucket, and I instantly thought of you.
Thanks.
No offense. Because we did our episode about the sea cucumber. I'm pleased to say it did not eviscerate itself and eject all its internal organs at us.
Well, that's a relief.
Nor did it launch itself hundreds of meters. I was fully expecting it to go flying out of this bucket into the sea. It was quite underwhelming. It did nothing. It looked like a poo, and then we put it back.
Did I really not respond? That's very unlike
Absolutely
me not to respond.
It's very unlike. It's very like me to not respond. It's very unlike you. But I think it may have been when the dog threw up, so you may have been a bit distracted.
Do you mind if I'm just curious to go and see my... Hang on one second.
Go for it.
So when did you go to... Okay, right. So here's your video. All right. Now, so this is the video I received. Now, you mentioned that it looks a bit like a turd in a bucket.
It does look like a turd in a bucket.
But I did... So I was whittering on about taxis. And then I said, and the video was lovely.
Oh!
I didn't really think it was all that lovely. I thought you'd picked up a turd in a bucket. But I knew that you must have sent it for me for a reason. And the trust in our friendship rose to the surface. And I was like, this is important to you for a reason. And I'm going to go along with it.
One day we went up to the castle and then I heard green parakeets up in the trees. Barcelona is home to an estimated 5,000 to 6,000 wild parakeets. They arrived in the 70s as part of the pet trade. So they were either kind of intentionally released or they managed to escape, and they've just adapted really well to the city because the climate is very ideal for them. You know, it's nice and warm in Barcelona. These parakeets make these enormous communal nests. They can be as large as a small car and as heavy as a polar bear.
So what? One of these parakeets?
No, not the parakeet, the nests.
Oh, sorry.
Can you imagine? One day we were passing through this park and there were people there. The idea being you give them a few coins, they'll give you some sunflower seeds, you can feed the parakeets. Do you ever have cash on you these days?
Well, a bit, but not much.
I'd never, ever have cash. So, and these guys were like offering us, you know, sunflower seeds. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. We haven't got any money. And then the kids were really interested in the birds. And there was this one particular guy who went up to my daughter and offered her some sunflower seeds. And I said like, oh, I'm so sorry. We haven't got any coins at all. I'm really sorry. And he was like, no, don't worry. It's fine. Like, gave her and my son loads of seeds, and the birds just absolutely flocked to them, and they will land on your hands. Absolutely magical. And bless him, he must have seen like how invested I was in these parakeets, because he gave me, you know, a couple of handfuls of sunflower seeds.
You referred to not having money anymore, like cash. I got into real trouble at the O2 Arena for having cash once.
Did you?
Because I went to talk President Barack Obama was giving. The security, as you might imagine, was very
high, yeah.
Because you don't want a beloved former president anything to happen while he's on like UK. And so I went in, but you had like regular English security, which most of my experiences of English security have been, no, you're right, mate, just go on through. And the American security are much more on it. And so now there's like this big America dude. And what they would do is they would just, at random, about every 15th person, they would decide to have a go at. And just so everyone else in the queue could see, right, that's what you might get if you fool around here. Picture The Rock, but with a bad attitude.
Yeah.
So now this big American guy says to me, I need to know exactly what's in your pocket, and you have under 5 seconds to tell me. And I'm thinking, Jesus. And I'm trying to think like, well, I reckon I've got some polos. You're going to have to explain to me a polo. And I'm thinking, well, they're like a mint, but they've got a hole down the middle of it. Anything else, sir? And I go, well, I reckon I've probably got some money. And he goes, exactly how much money do you have, sir? And I go, I don't really know. I mean, I'm not really sure. And he goes, a man who doesn't know exactly what's in his pocket sounds suspicious to me. And now I'm trying to remember. And I'm like, well, I was like, right, I reckon it's about 11.
Why does he sound like Tom Hanks in Road to Perdition?
I reckon it's around like £11 in bits and bobs. And he goes, we might have to investigate you further. And then he yells out to his oppo. And he was like, we have a man trying to take a prohibited substance into the arena. And I was like, I'm really not. I'm just taking money in.
I've got mints and some cash.
Yeah. And eventually they let me through. And as I went through, the guy like winked, like, look, I'm just doing it for show. Relax. Like, don't worry about it.
So it's very incongruous seeing like these bright green parakeets in the middle of a city, more so in London. Have you seen the London parakeets?
One landed, they said, look, if you walk around holding an apple, they'll...
Yeah, they love an apple, don't they?
They'll come over.
The parakeets that live in London are Indian ring-necked parakeets. There's various theories or urban legends that have been debunked about how these parakeets came to be here. That Jimi Hendrix released a pair of parakeets from his flat in Carnaby Street in London as a gesture of peace and love. Another theory was that they had escaped from nearby Shepperton Studios during the filming of the 1951 film The African Queen. There was a theory that some had escaped from George Michael's private aviary following a burglary. Anyway, they've all been debunked. The accepted theories of how the birds have come to be in this country is that they are escapees from the pet trade, because bird ownership used to be much more popular than it is now. Apparently in 1961, more people had pet birds than dogs or cats. The pet budgie or the pet like...
And they're always called Pip. That was the common English name for a budgie, Pip. My dad had a budgie when he was a kid. I don't think he liked it.
What I think, and this is a very good thing, is that we've become much more aware of what pet birds actually need to thrive. And it was probably more common back then that they were like confined to quite small cages.
Well, in the old days,
like
you just give it a swing and a mirror and put
Yeah.
a blanket over its head, and that was about the extent of its care.
And now I think we know that they need to be with other birds, and they mostly prefer to be with other birds, and they need free flying time. And yeah, I think the welfare has increased quite a lot. There were mass releases of pet birds following outbreaks of parrot fever, which was a disease that could spread from birds to humans. So there was a breakout in 1930 and 1952.
Really dangerous time to be a pirate.
I'm going to play a little fun game called Rate My Nest. I'm going to show you some pictures. I want you to describe for the listeners what you can see and give the bird's nest a mark out of 10.
All right.
There's no twigs per se.
Well, it looks like mud. I mean, there's water in the background of the shot, so it's got to be something
Aquatic.
like an exotic sort of swan's nest. 8.
So this is actually a flamingo nest. Flamingos construct their nest by scraping together mud or sand.
I realised that I have misjudged flamingos' work ethic because I just thought they stood around looking fabulous.
I mean, they do that too. Right, nest number 2.
Right.
No, do you have any idea what's made that nest?
Is it like a seagull or something? I don't see them
No.
trying hard.
It's a pigeon. They're absolutely dreadful, like a couple of twigs and a prayer, because like their relatives, the rock dove, their natural nesting sites are cliff edges. So really the few couple of sticks that they just chuck in are just to stop the egg from rolling off rather than providing any kind of structural stability for the eggs. At best, it's a 1, isn't it? Here we are, nest number 3.
It looks like the neighbour who goes all in for Christmas.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Marks out of 10?
Let's go 7.
This is the bowerbird. The male bowerbird makes a large, elaborate nest on the ground from twigs and then decorates it with the most fabulous, colourful items that they can find. Male bowerbirds spend a great deal of time getting their nests just right in a bid to woo a female. And the female will then diligently inspect his offering, and if his design isn't up to scratch, they refuse to mate.
Is like, the first date at home. Yeah. And the guy's like putting the bins out and really trying to make it
frantically tidying.
look nice.
Yeah. Right. Nest number 4.
All right. I mean, the branches are really long. I mean, some of those branches that are involved in this nest look about 4 or 5 feet. I mean, they look very long.
Huge branches,
And so to be able to do that, you've got to be a bit of a tank.
You've got to have some muscle, yeah.
Well, is it like an eagle or something?
It is. What mark would you give this nest?
I'm going to give it a 4.
A 4. This is the bald eagle nest. Bald eagles make the biggest nest of any bird. The largest recorded was 2.9 metres across, 6 metres deep, and weighed more than 2 tonnes.
All right, one more. It looks like a teardrop with a mouth.
This is a group of birds called weaver birds. This particular species is the Bayer weaver. The male begins constructions, and once the nest is partially built, he then hangs upside down, flaps his wings to attract a mate, and if she approves, only then if she approves of his efforts, will they complete the build together.
So is she like, look, if he looks that good the wrong way up, imagine how handsome he's going to be the right way round. The most impressive so
That's
far.
the goat of all nests. As we've done a bit of a bird-themed episode, I just wanted to conclude with a lovely poem that my 7-year-old has written. They've been doing bird watching at school, and then they were tasked with writing a poem about the birds that they'd seen. So this is what my 7-year-old daughter has written, and I just thought it was so lovely, it deserves to be heard. A blackbird hops along the ground, scavenging for food that is unfound. Singing in the morning light, I think this bird might be my best delight. Singing in the sunset, fading into the night, thinking of what to sing the next night. As it goes to sleep in its treetop nest, I think this bird might be the best.
Round of applause.
Bravo. Very, very good.
You've been listening to Animal Nonsense.